I am so ready to name and shame at this point. The doctor's name is Alissia Rosa Valentinis. Her CPSO number is 79090, and she works at 777 Bay Street at Taddle Creek Family Health. That's in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, by the way, for anybody international who ends up watching this. But basically, this doctor ignored everything that was going on with me. Specifically, in February of 2018, 6 weeks before I graduated from my undergrad, I tore my MCL at a daycare. She waited 6 to 9 months to do an MRI. And no, that was not 6 to 9 months to get the MRI after she requested it. It was 6 to 9 months after the injury that she even requested for an MRI to be done, and then you have to wait to obviously get a spot for the MRI. All this time I was on crutches, and she basically told me that my pain was all in my head. This is because I had gone to the hospital right after this happened, and they did an x-ray, and there were no broken bones, so I totally just must be fine. I'm faking it. And for context, an NCL injury, it was apparently a grade 2 injury, is supposed to heal itself within 6 to 8 weeks. And she waited 6 to 9 months to actually request for an MRI to make sure everything was fine. And then when I actually got the MRI, it was a grade 2 tear. So it already had close to a year to heal, and it was a grade 2 tear. And by the time that this tear was discovered, I had obviously already been fired from the job where I got injured at the daycare because they didn't want to take responsibility for the injury. And because I had already graduated from my undergrad, I was no longer on my parents' health insurance to get the physio required to get any help because this doctor waited so long to actually figure out what the problem was. Her solution? Vitamins. That's what's gonna make me better. Vitamins. I was getting increasingly frustrated with her and the lack of anything being done. I was in excruciating pain. I wasn't sleeping. There was a whole bunch of things. So I sent her a very long email after actually going through my own childhood medical records myself, and basically was like, these are some reoccurring issues that I am now discovering are actually in my pediatric medical file that I've been bringing up to you, and we are still not addressing them. So I would like to address, and I listed all of the issues. Her response to me was that basically I am complaining about too many things at once. So I am only allowed to bring up 2 issues per visit. My response was, yes, I will admit, a somewhat sassy email, basically being like, here are all the doctor's appointments that I have had in the past 6 months, and here are all the issues that I'm having. If we're going to go by your 2 issues per visit rule, we have passed the time where I've had enough visits that all of these issues should be addressed, and if you were to count just 2 per visit. And basically what I said to her, and I quote, was, I will make you do your job. Apparently, according to her, that was me threatening her life. You heard me. Saying, I will make you do your job was threatening her life. And so she no longer felt safe with me. She no longer felt safe being my doctor. She feared for her life. She feared for her safety. So she fired me as a patient, claimed she was going to send me my medical records. I also demanded that she finish filling out all the paperwork for my service dog that I needed and send that to me, which she did do, thank God, because I really needed the service dog. But she also said I was no longer allowed in the office because I threatened her life and she feared for her life. So I'm banned from the office. When I got my medical files mailed to me via a USB stick and I went through them all, there were large chunks of time missing and clearly medical notes missing in my file. So I tried to contact the office, and guess what? They blocked my phone number, so I could not contact them. So naturally, I took a trip down to the office, wasn't threatening anyone, wasn't doing anything. I literally walked into this office and asked for the missing pieces of my medical file because I needed it. They acted like I came in there with a gun. Truly. They locked down the whole office. All of the patients that were currently in the office, they had them exiting through a back door because this horrible, evil Black woman was patiently sitting in the waiting room, just waiting for them to produce my medical file, which they claim that they did not have. And they called the police on me. They straight up called the police on me because she feared for her life. I sat there calmly, waited for the police to show up, explained the situation to the police. I was actually recording the entire time. One of these days, I will post the video of all this nonsense to show that, like, I wasn't threatening anyone. I didn't say anything absurd. I literally walked into their office. When they saw me, their like eyes were like this, like, oh my God, like I'm such a danger. And the police basically felt like they were wasting their time. Basically told me, you know what, just like leave because obviously they don't want you here, but also told them that, hey, like she has a right to her medical file and actually make a concerted effort to find these missing pieces of her medical file and deliver it to her, which they didn't do until I filed a complaint with CPSO. And in the midst of their investigation, the office magically found the missing pieces of my medical file and had to give it to CPSO to give to me as a part of like that investigation. So I wasn't crazy. I was right. They were missing parts of my medical records. But CPSO felt that she did nothing wrong. Nothing at all. It's perfectly fine to act like you are scared of a Black person and say that they're threatening you if they say, I will make you do your job. I don't understand how that's threatening her life, because if I was truly threatening her life, how would she be able to do her job if she's dead? Just a question. So how is I will make you do your job a threat against her life? Icing on the cake, it took several years. I'm still on the mend. So remember, this happened in 2018. Still not 100% better. Had to end up getting surgery on my knee because of her negligence. And I was recently diagnosed with ankylosing spondylitis, which basically means my spine is slowly fusing together and I will lose my ability to walk. All because this lady did not want to do her job. Isn't that wonderful? And there's also no repercussions to her whatsoever. So, people of Toronto, if you are looking for a doctor and you want the most incompetent doctor that ever existed, feel free to go see Dr. Alissia Rosa Valentinis at Taddle Creek Family Health, 777 Bay Street, Toronto. That's downtown. And her CPSO number is 79090. Just for thoughts. And have fun actually looking her up on Rate My Doctor to see all of the complaints.